Today is the 10th of June, and Operation Legacy is finally here, bringing with it the return of Griff Ball, the Halo 3 Legacy playlist, which contains classic settings and an assortment of Legacy maps, the new 20-tier Legacy Operation Pass, and of course, plenty of new items on the exchange and the shop. All of which we're going to go over today, so without wasting any more of your time, let's jump straight in. First of all, looking at the shop. We're not going to go in depth about the returning items, so in summary we have the return of the March of War armor effect for 250 credits, Vampiric Touch for 200, Citrus Ink for 250, Wartime Requisition back for 1,500, the Combined Arms Super Bundle back for 1,900, which is pretty solid. The Combat Evolved Mark V Armor Kit back for 1,500, this was released at 2,200 I think, so this is a nice discount to see. The Rocket Reclaimer Bundle is also back. This is the Gen 1 Mark VI Armor Kit, which of course also comes with the Halo 2 Rocket Launcher. This back for 2,000 credits. Again, a nice discount, but I still think this is on the pricier end. And though technically returning items, not exactly a returning bundle, we have the Echo 9 Bundle. This of course containing some of the items available in the Frontlines operation, with the armor set being themed on the Halo 2 ODSTs. It contains the Echo 9 helmet alongside its paired helmet attachment, its shoulder pads, chest attachment, utility piece, knee pads, and a wrist attachment, with those 4 items being for the Rakshasa armor core. You also get the Drop Jet Slate armor coating, the BR75A2 hammer weapon model for the battle rifle, the Xeno Threat weapon coating, the Arrowfall backdrop, and the Battle Group Arrowfall nameplate. And finally, you also get the Blackened Ironside vehicle coating. This bundle does cost 2,200 credits. It is on the pricier side. I do think it's a shame how they're handling the operations. On the one hand, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because the free stuff from an Operation Pass will now rotate into the exchange and be permanently free. You won't have to go back and spend the 500 or 1,000 credits on that old pass. But on the other hand, this armor set was available in an Operation Pass that only cost 1,000 credits and is now back on the store in a bundle that costs 2,200. Yes, you do get immediate access to all of these items now rather than needing to purchase the pass and unlock them, but it is a little bit disappointing, and I don't really think it should cost this much, given especially that it was originally in an Operation Pass. I think if it was something like 1,500 to 1,800, that would maybe be a bit more fair. But anyways, moving on, we also have a new Mark IV armor set in the Wintergeist Bundle. This gives you the Xantippe Epic helmet alongside its Glass Knight Sweet helmet attachment, and this is a very interesting one. I cannot tell if I like this or not. It also comes with its own shoulder pads, chest attachment, utility piece, and knee pads, alongside the Wintergeist armor coating, which was also a purchase bonus in the Blue Team Operation Pass. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like this gives you any kind of discount if you already own the coating, which I think is a little bit bizarre. I think 1,800 for this set is definitely overpriced. This will probably be one that I skip out on. It's cool to see some more stuff for the Mark IV. All of the Mark IV armor is so expensive. I really hope we get some in the exchange or a new Operation Pass at some point. It's very cool armor, I just don't see myself picking this one up. Okay, and now we can move on to the bundles that you all actually want to hear about, starting with Classic Security, the first of the 3 premium Halo 3 shop bundles. In this, you get the Security Gen 1 helmet alongside its Mark 17 Mod 11 CBRN helmet attachment, which I actually really like. You also get its own chest attachment for the Mark 7 core, a set of shoulder pads, a utility piece, some knee pads, and a wrist attachment. This bundle is 1,400 credits, not the worst we've seen. Again, I do think the standard for bundles should be 1,200, and since this doesn't contain any additional things like its own armor coating, visor, emblems, anything like that, I do think the price should be dropped a little bit. It just doesn't offer the same amount that some other bundles do. I do think 1,200 or even 1,000 credits is significantly fairer with this one, just because the quantity of items is significantly lower compared to some of the others. Anyways, next up we have the return of Rogue. I know Hollowtide will be extremely happy about this one. The bundle of course contains the Rogue helmet alongside its new Red Gopher helmet attachment. You also get a set of shoulder pads, another chest attachment, this time for the Mark 5B, which makes it look more like the Mark 6. Personally, after the Halo 3 chest attachments, it's probably my least favourite, just because it makes me wish that the Mark 6 was a core instead of a kit, and that I wouldn't need to use a chest attachment in order to mimic the Mark 6 to make a customizable one. Moving on though, it also comes with its own utility piece, knee pads, and wrist attachment, alongside the Remnant Viridian armor coating, the CMA Bulldog weapon model, which looks really cool. It makes the Bulldog look much more in line with the classic shotgun, and is definitely my favourite item in this bundle, and you'll also get the Old Penny weapon coating. This one costs 1,800 credits. Again, definitely on the pricier side. If we work this out in comparison to some of the older bundles, this kind of works out the armour for 1,200 and the weapon model and coating 600, which doesn't sound too bad putting it like that. And I feel like if I say, I think this one should be a little bit cheaper, it's going to make me sound like I'm never happy with a bundle price regardless, which, to be fair, is probably true. Won't stop me from buying it though, because as we know, I'm a paid shill, apparently. Anyways, moving on to the final of these three bundles, we have Scout Gen 1. Of course, coming with the original Halo 3 Scout helmet and its own new helmet attachment, which makes it look much more robotic, and I actually kind of like this one. You get the Bula shoulder pads, its own chest attachment, utility piece, knee pads, wrist attachment, and the Amethyst Dust armor coating. The chest attachment, utility, knees, and wrist are of course all for the Mark 5B, but the shoulder pads and helmet are cross-core, as is the coating. This one also costs 1,600 credits. I think Rogue just seems like the better deal here, factoring in the prices. This one is 200 credits cheaper, but doesn't contain a weapon model or anything like that, though I prefer the armor that's available in this bundle as a whole. One thing that I did find a little bit interesting is that security is available for the Mark 7 core, whereas the other two are more so focused on the Mark 5B. Not that this really means anything, I just thought it was quite interesting and worth pointing out. But it does mean it'll be a little bit more difficult to match some of these armor pieces together, as of course the security chest piece can't be used on the Mark 5B core, and neither can the chest attachments from Scout or Rogue on the Mark 7. But you can still swap around the helmets and shoulder pads, though this does make me hope that we do get cross-core chest attachments sooner rather than later. Anyways, the final thing available on the shop today is the Double Trouble Super Bundle. This contains both of the Scout and Rogue armor sets and all of the contents available in that, alongside the purchase bonus of the Rampant Betrayal Kill Effect, which is of course based on the very traumatic death of Sergeant Johnson. So if you really want to upset the people you're playing against, bless you. So if you really want to upset the people you're playing against, this will be the best way to do it. Moving over to the exchange, we've had a nice little update there, bringing back a few of the Eagle Strike items, which is quite cool, alongside Kelly's armor set from the Blue Team operation, so we have both versions of Hermes available in the exchange now. There's a couple of new things too, like the Threatwave MREX wrist attachment for the Mark 5B core, the Black Falcon armor coating, which looks pretty damn cool, and of course, the return of the Hayabusa helmet. This will only be available for a limited time, however, available for the duration of this operation. So after July 8th, we don't really know what will happen. I don't know whether or not it'll be rotated into the shop or if it will be gone for good. Of course, it is a collab item, so that is likely playing some sort of effect in its limited time available, but it is unlockable for free. You can buy Spartan points if you want to fast track your progress, but this is something you don't need to spend a penny on if you want to unlock it. There'll be 15,000 Spartan points up for grabs in the current Operation Pass. You get 1,000 Spartan points from your weekly challenges and 100 per game, and any of the prior Operation Passes that are still available for 500 credits, you get 15,000 Operation points from them. But of course that would require you spending money. I'm also just pointing that out if you maybe haven't played Infinite since the exchange has been added. There is ways to be able to quickly get this without needing to spend a fortune. Anyway, seeing Hayabusa back is of course really cool. The helmet looks gorgeous. I'm so happy to see this one back in the game. This is something that I think a lot of us never thought would happen, but Halo Studios made it work, and I'm really shocked that this wasn't shown at the Xbox showcase, because that feels like a huge missed opportunity. This is definitely the best update we've had to the exchange in a while. There is some cool new stuff to unlock and some great returning items, and again, just a reminder, with the last update they added a catalogue to the exchange, so you can just go through and see all of the stuff that was available, all the stuff that you might have missed out on. So there is a ton of free unlocks for people that are returning to the game. Moving on to the new Legacy Operation Pass, for 500 credits you can get the Rivian Tooth weapon model for the Commando, which is supposed to look like if the Commando had more of the Halo 3 art style applied to it, and I do actually really like this one. Alongside this you get the Perilous Forest weapon coating, which is pretty cool. Now moving on to the free unlocks, of course you get 15,000 Spartan points overall, you get the Adrift in Slip Space emblem, the Type GD knee pads for the Mark 5B, the H-Case utility piece, the EOD chest attachment, the ODP shoulder pads, and of course the Gen 1 EOD helmet alongside its Blast Shield helmet attachment, which is another one that I really can't make my mind on. But overall, this is a very solid Operation Pass. I think Gen 1 EOD is of course a really cool helmet, and I cannot wait to play Spartan dress up with the items available here. The purchase bonus here is solid, and so are all of the free unlocks. And of course, if you do miss the Operation Pass, it is available for 27 days, but if you do miss it, all of these items will rotate into the exchange, with the exception of course, the Operation Purchase bonuses, which will be mixed into a future shop bundle. But you have more than enough time to decide whether or not you want to pick the Operation Pass up for yourself, or at least try and unlock everything for free. As for those game modes we mentioned, of course we have the return of Griff Ball. In the Griff Ball playlist, we have a couple of different versions of the mode. You have Classic Griff Ball alongside third-person Classic Griff Ball, and this will contain Halo 3 physic features, such as the return of hammer jumps. You'll be able to launch and pass the ball, as well as deflect it with the hammer and sword. And then you have Griff Ball Octane, which is the new version of the mode, which I suppose is more in line with the Halo 5 version, as you're equipped with thrusters. But aside from that, the mode is pretty much exactly the same. It's just intended to be a faster version. Griff Ball has been a very highly requested mode for quite a while now, so of course it's really cool to see this one return. And there's also quite a few maps available for the mode. The first of which being Sigma Stadium, Winter League 2008, Way Up There, Aquario, Nexus, Neon Night, Coliseum, High Charity Court, Scary, and Gridian. So there's even a pretty nice variety in the maps available for Griff Ball. Finally, we have the Delta Arena Halo 3 Legacy playlist, which contains of course a variety of legacy modes, including Slayer, King of the Hill, Oddball, CTF, One Flag, and Assault, with all of these modes even having BR starts or presumably regular assault rifle starts. I haven't tried the playlist yet, but you can filter out BR starts if you want a more casual experience. But if you're looking for something more competitive or just prefer using the battle rifle as your starting weapon, that option is there. Or of course you can just search for the mode with all of the modes available. And again, there is a ton of returning maps here too. We have Ghost Town, Foundry, High Ground, Cold Storage, Guardian, Construct, Snowbound, The Pit, Isolation, Ivory Tower, and Narrows. I mean, come on guys, who needs Halo 3 Anniversary when we have Operation Legacy? I'm super excited to actually get to try the stuff available in this operation out for myself. But that does summarize everything that's been added today. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you looking forward to try the operation out for yourself? Will you be picking up any of the shop bundles? Are you going to be grinding out Hayabusa, or did you already have enough Spartan points to unlock it? And will you be picking up that new Legacy Operation Pass? Next month we'll have another Halo 4 themed event, which will bring back some armor sets like Fotis and Wetwork, with Venator being a free unlock, so keep an eye out for that one, as that starts July 8th. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.